So, there's two different sides of our business. We have the RedSwan Inc., which is our umbrella organization, which is really the marketing side of the business development side, where we're bringing on content, which is owners who want to raise capital by selling shares of their property. And then we're also bringing on investors who want to buy shares of property. So that's the RedSwan umbrella organization, bringing those two parts of the puzzle together. And then we have the broker-dealer house, which is an independent but wholly owned subsidiary of RedSwan, and their primary responsibility is to be a broker-dealer and run these transactions in a very compliant way. So the two talk to each other, bring the content, bring the investor. Once the investor says they want to buy something, it goes over to the broker-dealer house. The broker-dealer house is now doing their KYC, which is know your customer. So they're basically doing their due diligence on every single investor to make sure that they're not on any kind of a bad boy list or bad girl list. And then from there, they walk through the process of wiring over their capital to our escrow division. Our escrow division is licensed, a custodian and transfer agent. They will actually take their order, take their capital, put it in escrow, hold it until we have all of our commitments in place. Once all the commitments are in place, we now can close this out. The funds are now sent by the escrow agent to the sponsor, so then I get the capital. And at the same time, the sponsor is given permission for the escrow agent to take the shares that he was holding for sale and distribute those shares to all the investors who now have committed their capital. And then we continue to monitor the relationship between the investor and the sponsor, so that when the sponsor has, for example, financial statements to issue, the sponsor will send us financial statements either monthly or quarterly, and we make sure we deliver those financial statements to all the investors who are involved. And then at time to time, when the sponsor is ready to issue dividends, we determine which shareholders have dividends of record, shareholders of record, and those shareholders now will receive their dividend because the sponsor sends the bulk of the dividend money to the escrow officer. The escrow officer takes that bulk of money, he divides it up based on the pro rata share owners of the investors, and then sends them their funds either through digital currency, which is stablecoin, to their wallet, or directly to their bank through bank wire. So we're playing this role, agency role, on behalf of the sponsors and also on behalf of the investors. We make it look easy, but a lot of resources going behind RedSwan to make sure that happens very seamlessly for both the sponsors and the investors. So on the secondary level, when an investor now wants to exit their position, which could be all of the shares they own or part of the shares they own, it's just like when you're selling stock on a New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ. You might have 1,000 shares of Apple, and you might want to sell 150 shares today and maybe another 150 shares next month, depending on where you think the stock is going to move. Same thing for digital real estate. If you own 20,000 shares of digital real estate of this ION building, you can sell all of your 20,000 shares by bringing it to us. We put it on our bulletin board, which is a way for all of our members who are registered to see that you, I don't know your name, but you are holder of 20,000 shares, and you're offering 10,000 shares for sale at a price of X, $10 per share, for example. And now these investors, who are all savvy investors, see that you're offering your shares at $10. They also can see that your shares are paying a dividend of, let's call it, 7%. And they now can say they want to either meet your offer and take it at that price and consummate, or they can make a counter offer, which is called a bid to your ask. And so once the broker-dealer matches the bid and the ask together, and it's a match, then the broker-dealer would now close out the transaction, send the money to the owner of the shares, and send the shares to the new investor. And that's done. That's how they get their liquidity.